my wonderful, amazing kiddos, and welcome back to another story time with Kidzone. As always, I am your host, Miss Shani. We've been talking about the fruits of the Spirit. So far, we talked about love, joy, peace, patience, and kindness. So let's hop into praise and worship, and we'll be right back.
I've heard 1,000 stories of what others think you're like, but I've heard the sweetest whisper of love in the dark of night, and you tell me you are pleased and that I am never alone. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. I see many looking for answers far and wide, but I know we're all looking for answers only you provide, and you know just what we need before we say a word. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways. You are perfect in all of your ways to us. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am.
We serve a good, good Father, and I want you to know that there's nothing here on this earth that can compare to what God has done for you. Amen. So today, we're diving into something super important and super cool, which is goodness. Goodness is all about being kind, helping others, and making the world a happier place. Let's start with the fun question. What do you think goodness means? Take a moment to think about it. Is it sharing your toys, helping a friend who fell down, or maybe it's just saying something nice to someone? There are so many ways to show goodness. So think about a time where you were kind to someone. Now, this shouldn't be too hard because you guys were supposed to make a kindness jar, and you were supposed to write down all the fun, cool, and nice things you did to help someone, and you were supposed to put it in a jar. So it's been a week now, so the jar should be full, so y'all should have some good things to say. Now let's dive into an amazing story from the Bible about goodness. This is the story about Ruth and Naomi. Let's dive into it. Ruth the loyal. Once there was a terrible famine around Bethlehem. A starving man called Elimelech journeyed with his wife Naomi and 2 sons to live in Moab, where things were better. Then quite suddenly, Elimelech died. Naomi and her sons were grief-stricken, but they tried to carry on as Elimelech would have wanted. The boys married Moabite girls called Ruth and Orpah. But then tragedy struck again. Both boys died. Naomi was heartbroken. I am going to return home, Naomi told Ruth and Orpah, but Ruth refused to see the old lonely widow go off on her own. Where you go, I go, Ruth vowed. Your people will be my people, your God, my God. Naomi smiled gratefully through her tears as she and Ruth journeyed back to Bethlehem together. Ruth and Naomi were now very poor. They struggled to make a living. One day, Ruth was in the fields at harvest time, collecting up the leftover corn, when she caught the eye of the farm owner, a man called Boaz. He stopped and asked who she was. Boaz happened to be a cousin of Naomi's, and he did what he could to help Ruth. Boaz told her she was welcome in his fields all the time. He told his harvesters to let her drink from their water jars whenever she wanted. He even invited Ruth to join his harvesters for a meal, giving her enough food to take home for supper. Boaz also secretly told his harvesters to leave extra corn behind so Ruth would have more to pick up. Day after day, Boaz showed Ruth small kindnesses like these, and eventually Naomi dared to send Ruth to ask Boaz formally for his protection. Boaz was delighted, as was tradition. He went to the city gate and declared in public that he wanted to look after Ruth and Naomi. Boaz and Ruth were married, and Boaz cared for the woman all their lives. So Ruth was rewarded for her loyalty and kindness to Naomi, and Naomi was comforted in her old age. In the fullness of time, God sent Ruth a baby boy, Obed, who brought the two women happiness. They never dreamed that Obed would have a son called Jesse, who would have a son called David, who would one day become the greatest king Israel ever had. Imagine how happy and thankful Naomi must have felt. Ruth's goodness and kindness made a huge difference in her life. Now, let's do a fun activity to practice goodness. Think of one kind thing you can do today. Maybe you can draw a picture for a family member, help with chores, or even just smile at someone who looks sad. Write it down or tell someone about it. And also share your ideas in the comments down below. I would love to see them. All right, awesome kids. So today we learned that goodness is about being kind, helping others, and making the world a better place. Think about how it feels when someone is kind to you. It feels pretty great, right? Let's spread that goodness everywhere we go. I hope I said something to you guys to make you feel better about being good to someone. Please, please, please leave a comment down below. Make sure to like and share. And until next time, my kiddos, bye.